morning and welcome to my lovely city garden. It's June 2nd in New England and I am ready to keep on planting. I have all of my tomatoes in at this point, most of them in ground, a couple of them in pots. Today is going to be a pepper planting day. I think it's going to be a perfect time because this week the temperatures are going to start rising up. I've been checking the weather like every single day, which you do if you're a gardener. And it's going to be a perfect time for those peppers to keep growing and our tomatoes to keep growing. So I was not out here yesterday at all on June 1st. I worked pretty much all day. So let's just do a quick tour of what it looks like June 2nd after what I've already had planted has gone in. Okay, so here is my lettuce bed. My lettuce bed is looking excellent. I've come through here and already harvested some lettuce. Just harvest from the outside and the middles will keep on growing. This is in a very shady spot most of the day in my garden, so I'm hoping to stretch my season out longer for my lettuce. Here's our tomato plants that I planted last week. We have 3 right here. These are called the Black Crim. We have some chocolate cherry along the edge. It seems like everything I planted so far is doing excellently. We've had lots of rain. I haven't had to come out here and water once since they've been planted. Some of them are small, but I definitely, when I planted them deep. And I think once the warm weather really starts up here, because it's been very mild. We had some warm days in the beginning of May, but then it kind of just became rainy and kind of chilly. But last week it's been warming up. It's been warming up now, and everything I planted is looking good. Now the cups all over the place, we're going to get rid of those once I come up with what I really want to do to label them all. This here is a Romo type tomato, San Marzano. It's going to go up, trellis up here on the fence. These are Valencia. I have 2 more that have been hardened up since last week. They are ready to go in the garden. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that today. I'm going to get those in the garden. Get those finished up. Here are our Roseau Sicilian. They're looking so good. And of course, whenever you're planting anything out, you're going to have some seedlings that do better than others. So I made sure that I put those towards the back of the garden. The south side. No, the north side. The north side of the garden. So as the sun comes over for the last part of the day, this whole thing gets, none of these big ones will shade out the lower ones. So they're doing great. You'll see between a lot of the things I have marigolds growing. So much marigolds. I've started some of my basil out here as well. Where's the basil? Where's my purple basil? Right there. So we have some there. And I know I planted a couple more and I don't see them. So I could be missing them, or someone, I put the purple basil here. And then I had some purple basil here and it looks like it did not make it. I transplanted that. Someone might have ate it. It's all gone. My dog is eating a fake strawberry. Hi, Tiana. Here's my sweet boy. All right, back to this side of the garden. Our peas are growing up perfectly. I have all kinds of little trellis things here that they can trellis up. You might not see, but between these brown bars, there are also strings. In some areas where I didn't put strings, I just put some sticks I had so they can start climbing up. It's worked perfectly here. This is a perfect example. So I had some growing out here. It was a little bit far from the bar, so I just put a stick, leaned it up against the bars, and these are growing right up. And I like to do that all around to the back. If they don't make it to the fence, they actually grab onto some of the grass that's growing and that'll pull it up. But if I see any leaning, I'll throw a few more little sticks in there just like I did there, and that'll work great. Here's our pots, marigolds here. all along edge. These are looking excellent. These are the first marigolds to go in. And I shouldn't have been scared to put them all in at the same time. I wasn't really sure where everything was going. But the ones that went in early are so big now. So here's our pots of Brussels sprouts, experiment. We have our morning glory heading up the fence as expected. On the outside we have another morning glory coming up. We'll do my little outside container garden after. Okay, so my brassicas coming down the row. We have Brussels sprouts, and right around here and here are 2 broccolis. One broccoli is not going to make it, I don't think. I have some seedlings inside, but I think at this point I'm going to wait and do some fall crop of, try to do a fall crop of the broccoli. We have a Swiss chard, purple, coming. Here on the side of my broccoli is a nasturtium. I started off inside. Looks like some of the leaves are damaged, but I have plenty more new ones coming in since it's been planted. Here's a bed of Swiss chard. So some are obviously doing better than others, and I might have planted some of them too close together. But we'll see who wins. Okay. Around these poles, I planted some beans, some pole beans. I believe those are them starting, but I am not 100% sure on that. The ones with the funky leaves. That definitely looks like a bean. That definitely does. So, we'll see what happens. But just around those poles. And my kale, looks awesome. Now, kale is another one I can keep small if I want to, let it grow big. In previous years it just goes so tall in my garden, and I can pick the outside leaves and let the middles grow just like lettuce. This is my first year growing mustard greens, I guess. That's these. They look like somebody's eaten them. Out of all of my plants, I think these are the most holy. I'll have to check. For pests, but hey, if they're getting this and not my kale, well, they are getting some of my kale. Go ahead. I don't mind sharing, as long as you keep some for me. Okay, this is my corn patch. Is that a corn? Could be, or it could just be a piece of grass. So corn usually germinate 5 to 10 days, I believe it says. I'm not really even sure. I'll have to check the seed pack and compare and see if I'm behind or if these should be popping up. But we are supposed to have some really nice warm days over the next at least 5 days, I've seen. So if they're going to germinate and they're going to pop up, they're going to come soon. This area where all this junk is another part of the corn patch, but no corn seeds at this point. I'm going to start those as soon as I see the other ones starting. That way I can concession plants and okay, so these are things that I started hardening out last week, and they're ready to go in the garden. Look at this plant. Wonderful. This is called the Brandywine Pink. This was the last one that I need to put into this little patch here of 6 growing for the pot. And last but not least, my peppers. So I have them all separated by type. They're all bell peppers, but just different colors. As you can see, I have so many peppers. And I think I've decided to try to only grow, depending on how much space I end up with, 5 of each. Oh wait, the zucchini. Let's see how they're doing. Okay. And I guess last but not least, are the zucchini plant. This zucchini plant went in a few weeks ago now. I had it outside for a while and it was just looking too happy to not be in the ground. and it's doing excellent. I have it on the stand. I'm not sure if what the stand was for plants or if there was something on top of it. But anyway, I flipped it upside down. I'm going to grow my zucchini up the pole. Here's the second zucchini. Went in about a week and a half after the other one, and it's also looking good. Looks like it's got some kind of little bugs munching on them. And behind that, here and there, nasturtium. Now, if you look at the nasturtium, which is the reason why we have these plants in the garden, not only for beauty, it's a trap crop. Something is definitely taking big chomps off of that. Nasturtium is actually also edible for us, human. Oh, I'm a human, in case you didn't know. This one's the same thing. Some of the leaves look great, and then we have some that were chomped on. I'm not sure if it's a bunny or little tiny other creatures, but again, I don't mind sharing as long as they leave some for me. But they look pretty good. I think the only thing I'll do is there's a couple of leaves here that are touching the ground, and I don't want my leaves to touch the ground. That's where the diseases come from. Oh, someone's also eating, also edible, is my marigold that was right there. You can kind of see a flower, but all the greens are gone. Oh, that's okay. I think I'll replace it with one of these marigolds that's already blooming. Oh, okay. So at this point, I have my tomatoes all planted in. I have a few more to put in, but they already have the space for them. When I did the other tomatoes, I knew I had more coming in, more ready to come out, so I made space for them. So those are all set. I have some herbs and maybe carrots and some things to add when I do my seeds next week. But at this point, I need to figure out and lay out what I'm going to do with my peppers and my cucumbers. I'm going to grow 2 different types of cucumbers. Market More cucumbers, it's a regular standard size cucumbers, and also some pickling cucumbers. When my peas come out, I'm going to have that whole section. So I'm not too worried about maybe the pickling ones. Maybe we'll put those there because those will grow fast. They'll be in a good spot. But the inside of the garden, I'm going to definitely erect, build some kind of trellis for my big cucumbers. And I also want room for a lot of the peppers, at least 5 of each variety. And I have 2 eggplants to go in. I did not grow the eggplants from seed, which everything else is. Couldn't resist to take a look through the garden center that I was at, and they had this one eggplant which is purple and goes with the theme of my garden. There were 2 in one pot, so I said 2 for the price of 1. I'm definitely going to put those separate, make 2 separate plants. I went online, learned a little bit about growing them. I never really had much interest in growing them because I haven't eaten them much, but I will now. And they're pretty much like peppers and tomatoes. They're like near my corn. I'm going to put 1, and maybe I'll do 1 in a container. Or once everything's laid out, I'll see what I have room for, and maybe I'll put 1 somewhere else. And then I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with all the peppers. And the trellis, what I want to do for the cucumbers, I want to put it in a spot where I'm not having to walk around it all the time, but I don't want to make shade for the rest of the plants that are in here that need lots of sun. So that's what I'm thinking about today. His little face all dirty. Tana, what are you doing? What are you doing? You cannot eat fake strawberries. I have these garden view poles, and I was going to use it with just this gray panel. I didn't think that was enough. And I remembered that I have this other pieces of fence that I can put in here that are not being used, and I can trellis right up that, and it'll match the garden with all the rest of the fencing I have. Not that obviously matching means anything to me, but I just thought it would look nice. So now I just need to decide where it's going to go. I moved all the peppers out of the way. I'm thinking, why are you in my peas? Why are you in all those peas? Once the peas are gone, I could trellis them up this fence. I figured I'd keep the cucumbers together, and I'll do it in this section here. On that side to walk in there, bend over if I need to. If it starts getting even taller than I think, I can take the cattle panel that I have and go from here up to the top of the fence outside of the garden, and I can give myself a little walkway covered. That would be even cuter. All right, I laid out the fence the way I want it. I'm going to use these giant things to nail into the ground. And I have my crowbar and my screwdriver exactly in front of where the posts need to be. I had this standing up, so I'm going to remove that. Hopefully we'll do this in one try. If not, we'll try again. But I should have them in the right spots. Let's see. I'm not going to use a level. I'm going to use my eyeball. Hopefully that'll work. And I should probably be using a sledgehammer, but I'm going to use what I have right now. If it doesn't work good, I'll just go grab a sledgehammer. Okay, does it hold me up? Does it go in? Oh, perfect. Alright, so holds up a little bit higher. That's not okay. I'm alright with that. Side's a little higher just because it's kind of a wonky old thing, but I don't want to mess with the pole either. Get that out of whack. So I'm gonna be okay with this. All right. So I had those poles in the ground. They look like that one there. And that's holding this up pretty steady. Pretty steady. We're growing cucumbers on the fence. You know, that's a big weight off my shoulders. I've been waiting and waiting on figuring this all out. Now the sun's too hot to start the peppers right now. I'm going to do those tonight. I laid out all the peppers and realized I have enough room in this space to grow about 8 of each variety. To try to keep things pretty even and straight, I put these crates here up against the fence I put up for the cucumber trellis. And to make sure I stood within my spacing, I placed that pole there on the ground. The first variety that I'm growing and I'm planting right there is the Chocolate Beauty. I have 4 other varieties that I'm planting out today. I have the Orange Sun, the Purple Beauty, the Sun Bright, which is a yellow, and the California Wonder, which is red. watching a video the other day and there was someone saying, don't press down on your garden, don't walk on your garden. Well, how are you supposed to get in here and do stuff? Never had a problem. I need to lean down. I need a second hand. As I finish getting the rest of the peppers in the ground before dark, I'd just like to thank you for hanging out with me today in my favorite place, my lovely city garden. We got a lot accomplished today. I'm happy with the progress we've gotten along so far in 2025. If you'd like to like this video and subscribe, that'd be great. If not, that's cool too. Either way, have an awesome day.